Good morning. Okay, so we're still in our proportions chapter, but we're going to do something a little bit different with proportions today, and that is called converting measures. So when you're measuring something like a liquid, like milk, in quarts versus gallons, how do you convert? How do you know how many quarts is equal to 1 gallon, or 64 quarts equals how many gallons? So the first thing we're going to do is check and see what we've got. We're supposed to convert 64 quarts to a number of gallons. So you have your reference sheet, your conversion chart. So the first thing that we're going to do is set up our proportion. So remember, a proportion has two equal ratios. The first thing we're going to do is find our conversion factor. So on my paper, it tells me that 1 gallon is equal to 4 quarts. So I'm going to put that all over on the left. 1 gallon is to 4 quarts. Now, the other information that I have, I've got 64 quarts. Since quarts is on the bottom on the left, quarts has to go on the bottom on the right. My X is going to go up here because that's what I'm trying to figure out as how many gallons. Just like we've done before, we're going to go ahead and set up our one-step equation. So remember, an equation has an equal sign in the middle, and we're going to set this up by, first of all, multiplying by our X. So 4 times X is 4X, and 1 times 64 is 64. Draw your mirror. Find your coefficient. You have to divide by the coefficient. So we're going to divide by 4 on both sides. On the left, 4 divided by 4 is 1, so that cancels. Go to your calculator. 64 divided by 4 is 16. So now we're going to take this answer and put it up here. 64 quarts is equal to 16 gallons. 15 feet is equal to how many inches? Go to your reference sheet and find your conversion from inches to feet or feet to inches. Over here, we're going to say that 1 foot is to 12 inches. Now, since feet is on the top on the left, feet has to go on the top on the right. 1 foot is to 12 inches, as 15 feet is to how many inches? We're going to write our equation over here. First, we're going to find the X. Always multiply by the X first. 1 times X is X. 12 times 15 is 180. Now, this was a one-step because we don't have to divide by anything. So that is my answer. 15 feet is equal to 180 inches. Now notice what it says here, round to the nearest hundredth if necessary. Remember, when we're talking about decimals, if I have 2.1479, the hundredths place is where the 4 is sitting. You have to look at the thousandths place to see if that 4 is going to stay a 4 or if that 4 is going to round up. A 7 would tell that 4 to round up. So that would round up to 2 and 15 hundredths. So when it says round to the nearest hundredth, you should never have more than 2 digits past your decimal. All right, so let's look and see what we got. 50 centimeters equals about how many inches? Go to your reference sheet. So I see that 1 inch is to 2 and 5400 centimeters. So 50 centimeters, so the same unit of measure has to both go on the top or both on the bottom. What I don't know is my number of inches. That's my unknown, so that's my X. We're going to set up our equation. Always multiply by the X first. 2 and 54 hundredths times X is 2 and 54 hundredths X. 1 times 50 is 50. Go to your calculator and remember, find your coefficient. That's the number we're going to divide both sides by. So we're going to divide the left by 2 5400ths, and we're going to divide the right by 2 5400ths. Everything cancels on the left. All I have is x. Now on my calculator, I'm going to do 50 divided by 2 5400ths. And I get a really long answer. My calculator says 19.685039.4. Oh my goodness. Find the digit in the hundredths place. That's the second digit past the decimal. Look to the thousandths. In the thousandths, we've got a 5. A 5 tells me to round up. So that 8 is going to round up to a 9. So my answer would be 19 6900ths. So I'm going to write my answer in the line. 50 centimeters is about 19 6900ths inches. So now we're converting 200 grams to a number of ounces. Go to your reference sheet. Find your conversion for grams to ounces. So I see that it says 1 ounce is to 28 3/10 grams, as 200 grams is to X number of ounces. So we're going to find the X first. We always multiply by the X first. So do your cross products. We're going to do 28 3/10 X equals 200. To solve your equation, find your coefficient. That's the number that you have to divide both sides by. Divide the left by 28 3/10 and divide the right by 28 3/10. So I'm going to my calculator right now. Everything cancels on the left. And when I type in 200 divided by 28 3/10, my calculator, I choose a different color, my calculator says 7.067133781. I know that can look super confusing. Focus on what you need to know. All you need to know is the second digit past the decimal. That's the hundredths. Then you want to take a look at the digit in the thousands place. Are you going to round up? Yes. This 7 tells me to round this 6 up. So that would be 7.07. 200 grams is about 7 7/100 ounces. All right, so I'm going to have you guys go ahead and pause the video. You just have 2 more, so you've got these 2 last ones to try. Go ahead and try those on your own and check back in just a minute and we'll see how you did. All right, so for the first one, we're looking for the conversion from meters to feet. And on my reference sheet, it says that 1 foot is 0.3 meters. So 18 meters is how many feet? I don't know, so that's where my X goes. Set up your equation. Always multiply by the X first. So that's 0 3/10 X equals 18. Draw the mirror. Find your coefficient. Divide both sides by 0 3/10. Everything on the left is going to cancel. I'm going to my calculator. I'm going to divide 18 by 0 3/10. And my calculator says 60. So 18 meters is equal to 60 feet. Last one. 20 quarts is about how many liters? Go to your reference sheet. On my reference sheet, it says that 1 quart is equal to 0 and 95 hundredths liters. So 20 quarts would be equal to how many liters? Set up your equation, put your equal sign in the middle, multiply by x. 1 times x is x. Go to your calculator, multiply your cross products, 20 times 95 hundredths, and that says 19. Now, this is different than anything we've ever had because notice there is no coefficient sitting in front of my x. If there's no coefficient, that's your solution. Answer, 19 liters.